Deep in the forests of Østfold County, Norway, a man disappeared, not lost, vanished, erased without a trace. His name was Lars Mortensen, an experienced hiker, familiar with every trail, every ridge. The forest was his comfort zone. On June 4th, 2009, Lars packed light, a GoPro, a compass, a trail map, and one of his worn notebooks. He never returned. Search teams combed the area. Helicopters scanned from above. Dogs followed his scent deep into the woods, until it just stopped. The only thing ever recovered? A torn piece of his notebook, scrawled with strange symbols and a set of coordinates that led nowhere. Locals started whispering about someone or something out there. A figure spotted by two hikers weeks before Lars vanished, barefoot, covered in dirt, watching. They called him the Forest Man, a local legend with no face. A name passed down like a warning. Most brushed it off as folklore, but the case was quietly shelved, closed without answers. 15 years later, the legend hasn't died. Hikers are still vanishing, and what people are finding now shouldn't exist. This is the story of the Forest Man of Norway, a case they tried to bury. June 3rd, 2009. Lars was seen at a small supply store on the edge of Halden. He bought trail mix, a new lighter, and a waterproof map sleeve. The clerk remembered him well, said he was polite, focused, said he looked like a man on a mission, not a vacation. That night, Lars camped alone on a ridgeline called Maros Høgd. He sent a single text to his sister, "Clear skies, forests alive, back in 3 days." That was the last anyone heard from him. By June 7th, his sister filed a missing person report. She knew Lars. He didn't deviate, didn't flake, especially not in the woods. Local police launched a search. Helicopters swept 50 square kilometers. Dozens of volunteers joined. Rescue dogs were flown in from Oslo. They found the remains of his fire, his tent, and 20 feet downhill, a crumpled piece of notebook paper tucked under a moss-covered rock. The page had 3 things: a drawing of a tree with no leaves, coordinates that pointed to a ravine, and a phrase scribbled in shaky handwriting. It read, "He doesn't blink." After that, the search slowed, then stopped. No foul play, no body. The case was marked voluntary disappearance. Family didn't buy it, neither did locals. Before Lars vanished, there were already stories. Locals talked about a man who lived off the grid, deep in the Østfold forests, who watched hikers but never spoke. Old hunters told tales of seeing footprints barefoot in the snow, too large to be a child's, too thin to be a boot. Others spoke of eyes, glowing in the fog, not animal, too high up, too still. The Forest Man, they said, was real. Some claimed he was once a soldier who went missing in the 70s. Others believed he was something else entirely. One hiker, Lena Strum, reported seeing him near Lake Erte in 2007. Said he stood perfectly still for over 10 minutes, watching, never blinked, then walked into the trees. Police dismissed it as stress, said it was pareidolia, the mind's tendency to see human shapes where there are none. But hikers stopped coming. Campsites were left half-packed. Trailcam footage started showing things no one could explain. Every time someone tried to document the Forest Man, the footage glitched, froze, or got deleted. Locals started leaving offerings in the woods. Sticks tied with twine, jars of honey, and folded maps, as a way to keep him away. Then Lars disappeared, and the Forest Man was no longer just a story. In September 2010, more than a year after Lars disappeared, a hunter named Eric folded back a log near Maros Ridge to clear a trap, and found something strange. It was a notebook, water damaged but intact, pages stained, some ripped, but legible. Eric turned it into police. They ran it against Lars's handwriting. It matched. But the contents didn't make sense. No journal entries. Just fragmented thoughts, symbols, coordinates, repeated lines scrawled like mantras. One page said, "His skin is bark, his eyes are caves, he wears the shape of the last thing you lost." Another page read, If you whistle, he finds you. If you stop, he waits, but he never forgets the path you took. One section of the notebook was dedicated entirely to crude maps, all pointed inward, to a stretch of ravine known as the Pit. Locals had always avoided it, said the animals wouldn't go near it, said compasses spun, and time felt wrong there. Eric claimed he went once, to see what was down there, but the further he hiked, the quieter it got. Not peaceful quiet, wrong quiet. He said it felt like the forest was holding its breath and watching. In early 2011, an online forum called Out North started a thread titled Trailcam Glitches, Norway Only. It was buried deep in a sub-forum. Few noticed it. The thread's author, username Fjellscan88, claimed to be part of a wildlife tracking group near Halden. He uploaded dozens of screenshots from trail cams they had deployed that winter. Most showed deer, moose, the occasional hiker, but a few were different. One still showed what looked like a person. Tall, thin, limbs too long, barefoot, standing behind a pine tree. Except the tree cast no shadow. Another showed two frames, taken 3 seconds apart. The first, a snowy path, empty. The second, the same path, now with a figure crouched down, staring directly at the lens. No prints in the snow, no blur, no signs of movement, just there. Then, the original poster disappeared. No replies, no further uploads. His account was deleted 2 weeks later. But users had already begun downloading the images. Some claimed metadata had been wiped. Others said opening the files triggered glitches on their laptops. Skeptics chalked it up to hoax and coincidence, but a few investigators noted that every cam image with the figure lined up near the pit, the same area Lars had mapped, the same place the notebook had circled again and again. In April 2013, nearly 4 years after Lars's disappearance, a small hiking group from Bergen planned a 2-day trail through the Østmarka woods. One of them, Jonas, 26, an amateur cryptid researcher, insisted they detour to the area labeled the Pit on old orienteering maps. He had read about the cam thread, the notebook. He wanted to see for himself. The others were reluctant, but Jonas was convincing. Just a half-mile out, back before dark. They reached the edge of the ravine at 4:12 p.m. By 4:37, Jonas was gone. No screams, no footprints, no broken twigs, just gone. His last recorded words were caught on a handheld camera. He whispered, "It's quiet, too quiet. I think I hear." Then static, then silence. Search and rescue arrived within 2 hours. Dogs refused to move past a certain tree line. Drones lost signal. Radios clicked with static bursts. The group was evacuated before nightfall. Jonas was never found. Locals began calling that stretch of the forest Granskogen's Gate, the Gate of the Spruce Woods, a place you don't walk into unless something invites you. In late 2022, an anonymous user posted a compressed .zip file on a dark web image board known for paranormal content. Inside were scanned documents, handwritten letters, old forestry maps, and an audio clip labeled only "Play Last." The letters were signed LG, same initials, same slanted handwriting as Lars's notebook. One map showed the Østmarka region, except this one had 5 pits marked, all in a perfect circle. And the final letter simply read, "If this uploads, they haven't gotten me yet. Tell them it's real. Tell them I tried." The audio clip was garbled, mostly wind, then static, but at the end, 1 second of clarity. A voice, quiet, hoarse, whispering something in Norwegian. 3 words, "Deserdeg." They see you. The file was deleted an hour later. The user never posted again. Some believe it was a hoax. Others say he uploaded it seconds before stepping into the woods one final time. Some disappearances are never meant to be solved, but the forest remembers, and it keeps its secrets buried deep. This has been another file, filed under fear.